may be seated. Shabbat Shalom. On my first day of orientation at Swarthmore College, the incoming freshmen were shown a little play that ended with all of us chanting together, "You are a worthwhile person. You are a worthwhile person." It is hard to be a college student, living on your own for the first time, encountering the opportunity for bigger mistakes and bigger consequences, and experiencing greater financial and academic responsibility. So when I began at Swarthmore, a school known for students who pushed themselves a little bit too hard, the administration was trying something new, finding the balance between bestowing responsibility on its students and reminding us along the way that no matter what, each of us had intrinsic value. In the center book of the Torah, in a part of our Torah reading that's later than when Rabbi Feivel read today, God instructs Moshe to gather the entire congregation of Israel, not just the priests and elders, but really everybody. At this gathering, Moshe reminds the people and commands the people, "Kedoshim tihiyu, ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem." You all shall be holy, for I, Adonai, your God, am holy. In other words, you, yes, you, are a worthwhile person. Why? Because you are modeled after God, who is holy. No matter your social status, your physical, emotional, or situational ability, or the mistakes you've made, you are a worthwhile person. Kedoshim tihiyu, you shall be holy, introduces a section in which we learn what the Talmudic Rabbi Akiva coins the most important rule in the Torah, ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your fellow as yourself. Throughout the second part of this week's two-part Torah portion, Parashat Kedoshim, the mitzvot we learn take on a different particular quality. Their observance relies on a belief in the worthwhile nature of both ourselves and others. I am a useful, holy enough person to perform an act of goodness. This stranger in front of me is a useful, holy enough person to be worth my act of goodness. With that act of goodness, I demonstrate my gratitude for the Creator who gave me this ability to see my own holiness and the holiness of others. So let us look at just some, and this is really just some of the commandments that are given in Parashat Kedoshim. Leave the corners of your field for any fallen produce for the poor. Respect your parents. Keep Shabbat. Don't deceive your fellow. Don't break a promise. Don't steal. Pay your workers on time. Don't oppress your fellow. Don't curse the deaf or put a stumbling block before the blind. Judge the poor and the wealthy equally and righteously. Don't slander. Don't stand idly by the blood of your neighbor. Rebuke your fellow, but do not bring wrongdoing upon them. Do not take vengeance or keep grudges. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love the stranger as yourself. Respect your elders. Treat the stranger and citizen alike. Keep fair weights in business. Don't sacrifice your children. And don't adulter. So regardless of our capacity to pray for half an hour 3 times a day, to maintain enough breath control to blow a shofar, or to remember to count the Omer for 49 nights straight, we all have the capacity to perform at least a couple of the mitzvot laid out in Parashat Kedoshim each and every day. Regardless of our sense of self-worth, our negative habits, our weighty regrets, we probably already perform at least a couple of the mitzvot listed earlier on a regular basis. Simply calling mom and dad, paying employees and service professionals on time, and keeping promises to the people that we love are mitzvot, their commandments fulfilled. We are holy just the way we are, and most likely, we are tapping into our responsibility and our capacity to expand that holiness. you shall be holy, Kedoshim Tihiyu, is not just a command for us to do these specific deeds, but a statement of who we already are. When we recognize not just our potential for holiness, but also the ways in which we're already holy, we see the importance of treating ourselves, our bodies, with care, of setting aside time to visit the doctor, even if it means sacrificing a few hours at work. When we recognize that we are worthwhile, we see how much we deserve to be compensated for the work that we do, how much we deserve respect from our students, our clients, even and especially our family and our friends. When we treat ourselves with dignity, we demonstrate our gratitude for being made in the exact image of God. While Parashat Kedoshim may seem uplifting and relatable on its own, the part of the Torah portion that Rabbi Feivel read today may present as more of a challenge or more distant. Achrei Mot, that first part of our Torah portion, is largely focused on the repentance-oriented traditions and sacrifices of Yom Kippur. Before our intrinsic self-worth and the interpersonal responsibilities that come with it are laid out, we are reminded that for all of our holiness, we are not and never will be perfect. You are a worthwhile person, and you will make mistakes. For all of our imperfections and our misdeeds, maybe even especially the big ones, repentance and forgiveness are achievable. We are each worth the effort of repairing broken relationships, of turning past failures into opportunities for learning and growth for ourselves and for the people around us. As we chanted that freshman year, you are a worthwhile person, and once you are able to understand that God-given truth, you may then be able to look around you in gratitude and recognize the divinity in the people around you, with all of their beauty and their quirks and their imperfections. Once you grant yourself permission to love yourself, you may more easily be able to love your neighbor, to express to everyone you meet with your actions, with your words, with that extra measure of grace. You too are a worthwhile person. Shabbat Shalom. I would like